LambdaGeneration.
Happy birthday, everyone! Half-Life turned 20 this week, and today's episode of All Things Lambda reflects that. My name is Mitch, and let's get this loaded episode started. Let's plug our own content first. We at LambdaGeneration have made a website containing all major community moments in a neat little timeline. We have everything from the inception of Half-Life 2.net, which became Valve Time, to the release of Gary's mod on Steam and the hunt down the Freeman debacle. We have worked hard to get this site out on time, so it would be really nice if you go and take a look and if you share it around with the rest of the community. A link is in the description below. We also hosted a Sven co-op server with over 32 people and we completed Half-Life in about 2 hours, which is pretty amazing. Thanks for coming. So it's finally happening. Black Mesa Zen is confirmed for a Q2 2019 release, and they have no plans on delaying it again after having done that numerous amounts of time and letting fans wait a really long time. However, all this waiting has paid off because Zen looks absolutely incredible. Like, really incredible. They released a trailer to show off what they've been doing so far, and hot damn, this comes close to something you'd see in the Titanfall version of the Source engine or something. I do think they have taken a lot of inspiration from the Hell segments from Doom 2016, but all the Zen elements are still here. Floating platforms, weird monsters, and more original stuff made the cut. It's worth mentioning though that Zen in Black Mesa is going to be a little different from what you remember from the original Half-Life, which is good because Half-Life Zen feels like it could have used a bit more time in pre-production. I absolutely can't wait for this to release. I'll make all the videos! The trailer can be found on this very channel or the description below. Black Mesa AZURE Sheep has made another move, this time in the form of a demo release. The levels and the gameplay seem pretty good already, however I do feel like some of the weapons animations could be improved on a little bit. At the start of the game, I also had a bit of trouble with my resources. My gun would run out of bullets quickly and I was left running past enemies like how I avoid my responsibilities. The demo is also pretty long, it took me about an hour to complete and there are a lot of levels. The mod also makes use of the Black Mesa engine, so some of its features are visible here, such as dynamic lights and god rays. Overall, I recommend the mod. You can download it from the Steam Workshop, however, there is a special way you have to install this mod, which is described on the workshop page. Make sure you read that first. Unforeseen consequences. That's the name of the third chapter of the original Half-Life, and the name of this NOCLIP Half-Life documentary. They have finally released a trailer for their upcoming community-focused doc about Half-Life's legacy, and it looks good, as usual for NOCLIP. The doc will feature people from the Project Borealis team, Randy Pitchford from Gearbox, and many more Half-Life fans and community members. So you may be thinking, where is Valve? Well, they weren't interested. Check the link in the description to see the trailer. Half-Life D-Make Black Mesa has been released to the masses. You can now play it on itch.io. It's a full remake of the original Half-Life game, but it's all in 2D. That means that levels will feel completely different and the gameplay is very different from its source material. In other words, it's a totally different experience. I've dropped a link in the description below for you to play it. Epistle 3 mod Boreal Alyph is on a roll this week. They have released several videos showing off their progress and oh boy, it's quite some progress. They have taken the time to drastically improve the source engine to be more in line with modern games. They added physically based rendering to brushes and assets to make reflections and lighting look far more convincing. They also added subsurface scattering to simulate the way the light passes through see-through materials like skin or cloth. There are also dynamic shadows visible, which look really good. They have also made some improvements to the sound system, and they showed off some gameplay, which honestly looks very similar to Half-Life 2's standard combat. I did notice there is a bit more head bob going on though. Last but certainly not least, they let us listen to some of their music. Here, take a listen. want to hear and see more, there is a link in the description that will take you to their Medium page. We are not the only ones who made a Half-Life tribute for the 20th anniversary. Marfy Black has done something as well, and it's super funky. This involves characters dancing realistically to Druid 2 by Instant Remedy in different GoldSrc maps. This isn't just about Half-Life though, it's about all the GoldSrc mods made over the past 20 years. Awesome. There is a link in the description below. I urge you to go and check it out and to get your groove on. Half-Life 2 Classic is still in development, and they've released a new demo. It's RAVENHOLM, and it looks, well, a bit different. However, it still looks remarkably similar to Half-Life 2 in some ways. The textures are well translated, the zombies look pretty similar, and the physgun actually works. I really love being able to play around with it now, and it still looks a lot of fun. The explosive barrels were a bit more fragile than usual. I had some troubles with them. Like, I touched them a bit weird, and they blew me all the way to Zen. Half-Life 1 Zen. So, not the good Black Mesa Zen. Not yet, at least. There is a link in the description below if you want to play this yourself. Our last item today is Year Long Alarm. It has been released on Steam last week, and it's as good as I thought it was gonna be. The gameplay is really well balanced. I never really felt like I had trouble with my resources. The levels are great and really well designed too. Chuck Wilson knew what he was doing. I mean, he did work on Black Mesa, and Black Mesa's level design is generally pretty solid. You know, because it's mostly Half-Life's level design. However, I do find that certain spots and levels were a bit too dark. I needed to use my flashlight a lot. Lighting up some of these areas might have been a bit more streamlined for the player, but it would have also taken away from the game's visuals, so I don't know what would have been the ultimate compromise here. The game took me about 30 minutes to complete. If you have a little bit of time to kill, this mod is for you. It'll scratch the source mod itch pretty well. A link is in the description. Alright, that was episode 21 of All Things Lambda. I should have skipped last week's episode so that this would have been episode 20. How awesome would that have been? I tried to put as much content in as I possibly can, but I might have missed a thing or two. A lot happened on Half-Life's birthday, so stuff might have flown over our heads. My apologies for that. Wanna see more Half-Life goodness? Follow us on the socials, they're on screen now. We post a whole bunch of stuff on there and you can interact with us, so let's socialize. Want to follow me specifically? My Twitter is @farlumi and my YouTube channel is Glorious Rigby. Don't forget that I stream Half-Life 2 tonight at 9 PM Central European Time. Would be awesome to see you guys there. Don't forget to subscribe and to give a piece of cake to the bell icon. Please do that, he's such a lonely boy. I'll be witnessing your presence next week. Have a nice Thanksgiving.